religion has wounded us in Africa. It has not allowed us to employ our mental capacity.
How?
Because instead of engaging reasoning and logic, we engage religion. I went for interview, they didn't employ me. They have started doing me from the village.
That's the complaint. That's what they will complain
just
about.
Normal reason.
Out of 10, you attempted one. And when they say, how many questions did you answer? You say, they do me from village.
Who do you?
Because the moment they ask me question, my brain went blank. So everything that them do you, then do you, then do you.
Lack of learning.
See, unbelievers.
That is what we call mental reasoning.
No prayer. They engage themselves and make money. No witches follow them. You that is inside church with fasting,
every
40
day.
days in January, 50 days in August, 75 days in November, December. Yet you cannot keep 1 million naira for your child. Is something not wrong with your God? I don't like that kind of God. I want a God that blesses the good and the bad. Say, I refuse to spiritualize my mind when it comes to productivity in the natural.
I know you have a lot of things to say.
This one, don't even allow me to start talking, because if I start talking here, people will run mad. Don't look at what he has just said.
Okay, let's start from somewhere. Say spirituality have caged Africans.
He said religion has wounded Africa. In fact, that statement that he used, wounded, is an understatement. Because if it is me, I would have used the word religion has killed Africa. That is the right word to use. Because if you see us now in Africa, anything that happens, we shift it to spirit.
Spirituality.
It's either my pastor prophesied, or somebody came to me and revealed to me,
or they do me from the village.
What he has just mentioned. Now, let's take for example. He mentioned that someone went for interview. If you didn't read your book, or you didn't study very well, how do you expect manna from heaven for you to answer that question?
Someone went for an interview. He didn't investigate about the company that he's going to. He didn't think about the questions that they will be expecting. So they asked him, immediately they asked him a question, his head went blank.
Now they do him from the village.
They do him from the village.
Who did you from the village?
It's because you are not prepared.
Then let's go to the aspect that religion killed Africa. During the early 80s, when the European came, they saw that Africa was very, very resistant, because they dealt with us with slave trade. They dealt with us with now they saw that Africa some part are very, very resistant, but they went back and brought another brain, came in the name of religion. So when they came back now, they told us that there is a God that forbids other gods, that is greater than the other gods. And this other God that they are saying now is that they made the image of that their God to be like a white man.
So are you
making that image as a white man? We are now about to bow down to them and respect them till today, because the white man always see us as a inferior, while they are the superior.
So are you indirectly saying that the image that Christians look up to, that is not a white?
The image, who has ever seen God?
No, just the image of Jesus that we are all
who saw Jesus?
He exists.
We know that Jesus exists. If we trace the history, even Jesus is a black man, because from Israel, where Jesus was born, isn't it? Then these Israelites, where did they move from? They moved from Egypt before moving to Israel, isn't it? And this Egypt, where is he found? Is it not in Africa?
The history they want to talk here now. What we're going to talk here is, how did the religion destroy Africa?
The religion destroyed Africa because our mentality was washed away in order to believe everything that we do is done in the spiritual realm.
We no longer believe that we can do.
Yeah,
we can be engaged in something.
We no longer believe that maybe this breeze can blow it and fall. When this tree fall, we believe that it is somebody that has done it for the tree to fall.
That it cannot fall naturally.
It can't fall natural. Somebody made it to fall.
Okay,
the other day I was coming back.
Mm.
You know, normally, according to physics, they said when a pole, for example, this naked wire that is being close to a tree, it's not good for this naked wire to be very, very close to the tree. Then I was coming back, a thunder strike. Due to that naked wire, because the thunder has a very powerful electrical shock.
Lightning.
The lightning. So when the lightning struck, it hit that tree and the tree bent down. It was attributed that it's a spiritual thing that somebody destroyed that tree. That is the mentality we have in Africa. So you see that it has wounded us. We no longer believe in something that can happen normally.
And that is affecting the Africans, that they cannot be engaging in things for things to prosper or for things to work well or for things to manifest. Because unlike this block now, if you want to mold block, you have to bring sand, bring cement, mix it up. If you doesn't mix it up well, it will not be a block.
Thank you.
So we need to start engaging in things. We need to start engaging. Like this reminds me, there was a time P2B said that he will turn night vigil into night shifts. Many people misunderstood it. Many people misunderstood, but they do not know that night vigil is not the problem. Prayer is not the problem. But because the country is like this, we didn't have the opportunity or a system whereby we can work at the night. I don't know whether you get it.
I understand what you're saying.
So people just misunderstood it. They think that Obi is against the church.
Thank you. There are so many things that this religion and what this man said has actually killed us. Somebody will come to mold blocks, as you just said. Use one bag of cement, mold 70 blocks. Tomorrow that building collapses. If the building collapses, you say, my grandmother in the village did it. Or my uncle did it.
You have a point there. You have a point there. Why one bag supposed to get at least 40 or 35?
But he will use one bag in order to mold 70 blocks. And when the building collapses, he say, my grandmother did it. My uncle did it. They don't want, my village people don't want me to prosper. It's another religion. Then maybe he will go and meet his pastor. The pastor will tell him that, yes, I saw that in the prophecy. I told you. Who did this? You are the one that did this mistake. The mistake is coming from you. Before you building a house, the engineer has to tell you the amount of block that one bag can give to you before you can start molding that block. But we don't ask anything. We believe everything.
So in general, what's a way forward? Because to me, I believe that if we start engaging in things, is part of the way forward than shifting everything to spirituality.
Spiritualism. That is the way forward that I can say. The way forward that I can say is we have to accept that God exists.
We know that God exists.
We have to accept that God exists.
We accepted that already.
And do things in the way it's supposed to be done. Not attributing everything to spiritualism. I'm cutting tomato, I wound my hand, I say somebody did this one.
Why this
is my mistake? Isn't that what you are facing now?
That's what you are facing. The things that we're supposed to do for ourselves, we don't do it. We are just waiting for manna to
come from heaven.
From above.
I don't know. In fact, I don't just know where we are heading to in Africa.
We have a lot of things to talk about, but because of time, we don't want this video to be long. What's your take? You have had our discussion. What's your take? drop it in the comment section. If this is your first time of seeing our post, please like and follow, for the next one will shock you.